Brother Teacher here. This message, this introduction in this particular video is for my new martial arts students that have joined me here on YouTube about a week ago. I was asked about teaching some people personally who were not able to get to me uh, physically, in the physical sense, geographically speaking. And so I decided to start giving classes and information online more so than I usually do in general as far as martial arts is concerned here on this particular platform. And I got some responses, and I had some individuals email me their personal information, address, and contact information, and so forth. Now, with that said, remember, please remember those of you that did not send me your contact information yet by way of email, please do that expeditiously so that I can create a file for you in my system. So my email address again is brotherteacher and the number one at hotmail.com. That is where you are to forward that information to. That way it's done privately between you and I. And I don't want to have your personal information out here in the general domain, the public domain, where people can try to spam you and do all other manners of things that are deplorable and against humanity, as it were. There's a lot of people out here like that. So thank you for those of you that have already submitted your information. And I know there's some extenuating circumstances with some. I have someone, for example, who's in England. He has some issues as far as contacting me, but we're working that out. But anyway, it's about 14 new students that I have gained to date, and I'm going to be offering instructorship, if you will, all the way up into the end of March to early April, giving other people opportunity to join my school or my system of Jinen-Do martial arts. So this is what I require of you today. I want everyone to have a journal. I want you to, every day that you train, discipline yourself to be disciplined. I coined that phrase, by the way, many, many years ago. Discipline yourself to be disciplined. In other words, make sure that you keep a journal, a running journal of the work that you do as it relates to your training, your health, and your martial arts. You can get a 3 ring or a 3 clasp folder with some filler paper. Fill it up with some paper, or you can get you a 1.5 inch, or 2 inch binder like this 3 ring binder, one of those. Or you can get you a journal book that's already got the lines in it. One of these guys, something similar to this, has lines in it. What you are to do is every day you get ready to train, you can write the date. For example, today is March 18th, 2020. You write the date for your record so you know when you did this. You write down how many miles you ran, jogged, how many sit-ups or crunches you did, how many push-ups you did, how many jumping jacks, and so on and so forth. Even if you're doing martial arts techniques, how many front kicks you did, or you spent 5 minutes doing this particular exercise, or 10 minutes doing this other particular exercise. You don't have to be so nitpicky about some of the specifics unless it's just something that you want to do. But my point is, keep a record of what you do every time you train. You may also want to keep up with what you are consuming every day so that you can have a running list of what you shouldn't be doing. Sometimes people like to have cheat days where they have that slice of apple pie and milkshake, and then the rest of the time they're doing their workouts and training and so forth, and then they have a cheat date again maybe 2 or 3 weeks later and have a slice or two of pizza. I don't eat those things myself personally. Every once in a while I'll eat a few chocolate chip cookies, which I do enjoy, with some almond milk or some coconut milk. But that's that. But whatever you're doing as it relates to your health, Take the time out of your day, take the time out of your life, and sit down and jot it down. And before you realize it, this little journal here will be done for the year of 2020. Then you start all over again. You get you another one for the year 2021. And you start January and you continue on for that. And then you have some running record where you can look back and say, well, last year, this is where I was, and here's where I am today. See what I'm saying? And you might also, when you first open up your journal, write down what your present weight is as you begin this journey with me, your instructor. Actually, it's your own personal journey, but I'm right alongside you. I'll be with you as long as the Almighty allows me to be here on planet Earth. So you write down your age, you write down your weight and your height. That's your beginning. 3, 6 months down the road, see if you still weigh the same. If you gained some weight or if you lost some weight, you can also make notes in here. You say, I've noticed this about my arms. My arms are getting more toned. My chest is sticking out more. I have stronger legs. Whatever. You need a journal. Okay? Now, with that said, pause. This can be considered as one of my classes that I call a term, karate from my desk, for this first introduction class. And it is a class. All of you that have already joined me and have already expressed that you want to be a student and that you are a student, I've already accepted you. Now, that doesn't mean that if any of you that are watching this video want to join, that you are excluded. No, you can join right now as of you watching this video, and you could participate in this exercise as well. So here's the homework that I'm going to give you for this particular first video. It might be elementary to some of you. Don't forget that this is for beginners as well. So there are people out there that have prior martial arts experience, prior advanced ranks, even in other martial arts systems, that have joined my ranks, if you will. So if you can do more, that's fine. This is just a platform. This is just a groundbreaking test, if you will. I'm starting everybody at the same place. First thing I want you to do is to do 25 jumping jacks. Most of us know what traditional jumping jacks are. 25, that's your goal. If you can only do 10 or 15, that's fine. But your goal is 25. So we will continue to do them. You will continue to do them until you have achieved that. That is good for your cardiovascular system, your wind, your stamina. 25 jumping jacks. So however many you do, I still want you to write it in your journal. So if you only do 10 or 15, write 10 or 15 in your journal. Don't cheat and say I did 25 and you didn't do 25. Okay, so 25 jumping jacks. The next thing I want you to do is 2 sets of 10 push-ups correctly. Remember when you do your push-ups that your hands must be in line or alignment with your shoulders, not out here, right here. When you do your push-ups, do them like this speed. Don't let your chest touch the floor. I'm sure you have enough common sense you can understand what I'm doing without me doing it on the floor. I'll do that later. Okay? Not like this. Those are not good push-ups. When you do them slowly like this, you're tearing deep down into the fibers, into your shoulders and your arms, building those muscle fibers up. Okay? You want to take your time and pump them out correctly. Breathe out every time you do one complete push-up. In other words, when you go down, you come up, you go down, you come up until you get to 10. Take about 30 seconds to 60 seconds before you do the next set of 10. Stay there on the floor until that time has expired. Then you do the next set of 10. And you attempt to do the second set of 10 just like you did the first ones. Perfect. So we're doing 2 sets of 10 push-ups. If you can do more, if you're athletic, if you are advanced, or if you work out regularly, then please do more. But this is just the foundation that I'm building with you right now. After the push-ups and the jumping jacks, we're going to do sit-ups and or crunches. Some people can't do sit-ups, and crunches work better for them. You know, a crunch is not like a sit-up. A sit-up is usually when people embrace the back of their head and they go forward completely by your knees and come back. Forward completely by your knees and back. So, again, when you do the sit-ups, I want you to do what's on my list here, 20 sit-ups. I want you to do 20 sit-ups. And again, clasp your hands behind your head. Go forward, breaking the plane all the way up until you touch your knees if you can do sit-ups. Okay. Use your abdominal muscles to pull you. Do not jerk yourself up forward when you're doing your sit-ups. Pull from your stomach region, your abdominals. Okay? Now, on your crunches, you don't have to come completely up. All you have to do is allow your back to leave the floor. So when you do your crunches, you can do them the same way, fingers interlocked behind your head. Just pull up from the stomach until your back clears the floor. Hold it for a few seconds, go back down and rest. That will constitute as one crunch up. Hold it. A few seconds, go back down, up. A few seconds, hold it, and back down. So what you're doing in holding it is making sure that you target your core, which is your stomach muscles, okay, your abdominal region. And your core consists of your lower back and your abdominal muscles. That's what gives you a straight, erect position when you're standing up and sitting. Well, you're supposed to be sitting straight. So I'm standing erect now, straight up. So people who have poor posture, like slouching like this or leaning back, it's because usually they have a weak core. And if you have a weak abdominal region, chances are you're going to have a back issue as well, if not presently, in the future. Okay, so they both complement one another. Your lower back and your abdominal region is the core. It's your strength. It's your girdle, your natural girdle that holds you up, just like this. If it's weak, then you begin to slouch. Okay, then you have poor posture. Then you have back problems down the road. Okay, so jumping jacks, push-ups, crunches, and or sit-ups. Now, the other thing that I'm going to hand to you real quick, and then I'll be out of your way, my new students, as it were, is a reverse punch. This is only for training purposes. You don't fight like this in the street. You've seen this before, traditional karate. We don't fight like that in the street. That's to develop timing, speed, technique, and focus. Okay, so here, you strike with the two largest knuckles by the thumb. Two largest knuckles by the thumb. If you're not used to punching and hitting something solid or semi-solid, your hand is going to collapse and you're going to end up with wrist damage or maybe even a broken wrist. Oftentimes in a street fight, you see guys who have been in a very hot altercation. They usually have wrist damage because they punch incorrectly. They don't know how to punch. So you have to, at first, when you're learning the technique, to be conscious of what you're doing. So when you throw your punch, make sure that your hand stays in line with the forearm, in line, straight line, like this. If you allow this to be weak, upon contact, it's going to collapse and damage your wrist. And it's going to discourage you from continuing to train for a while, especially if you're a new person to training, a beginner. So here we are. This hand rests towards my ribs and my side, towards the center here. I'm going to do this slow. They move together in tandem. Begin to turn or twist. Stop at the same time. Again, here they move together, passing each other. Stop at the same time. This one, the palm is facing up. This hand in front, the palm is facing down. Pick the speed up, going through the technique. If you haven't done this before, this will be new to you. Do it in stages, just like I'm doing it. Bend your knees slightly in a short horse stance, if you will. Pick up the space or the speed here. Or ki, oi, oi. At the end of the technique, as soon as you make contact, you ki. Hey, hey. You don't punch and then ki. And you don't hey and then punch. It happens together. Hey, 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 hey. Focus. Shisan, Kimi. Now, in an actual confrontation, actual sparring, you have your body thin to your opponent. You don't face your opponent square. So from here, this is Mansao. This is your inquisitive or asking hand. This is your Wu Sao or your defensive hand that protects the center primarily. Okay, so from here, you punch from the rear. This hand guards you. This is your contact between that outside force or that opponent and you. They have to make contact with this before they can get inside. You follow? So you never have your hand down. You never have your hands up like this, like you're in a fight, like some people want to box like that or like this. No, you always protect your center. You punch here. You switch your stance here, being thin again. The least amount of target you want to give your opponent. You punch from here, 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 keeping protected the whole time. Here, you would rather take a blow on your arm than to allow them to get inside where your center is and violate you. You follow? This is what you're protecting, your face and your organs. So from here, there, switching the stance, here, again, there. This again is only for training. You got, I hope that this was of value to you, my new students, and to my friends that are watching, and to those prospective new students. This is the beginning. This is your first day with me. If you have a video archive, make sure that you add this video to your collection, to your archive. If you can put it on a flash drive or a memory stick or a DVD, you might want to do that and keep it in your collection so you have something to refer back to from your instructor. It was wonderful, it was beautiful, and I enjoyed sharing this space and time with you, my new students, today. And I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video. May Yahweh bless you. I love you. So long. This is Brother Teacher.